Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. Before we jump into the action today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. If you're interested in joining any of our campaigns, we have open slots available for a Friday early and a Friday evening epic level campaign. If you're interested in any of them, be sure to reach out and let me know. So, everybody, go ahead and give us that recap, Argan.
All right, so we start off by doing a month of downtime. Brosco works on trying to join Vox Machina. He gets a lead on a person who will watch him, but he fails to find the monster that he needs to kill. Evidently, much later, remembering that he was just going to summon the Baylor that we had on a scroll. But so he ends up failing because he couldn't find his monster. Zurazar spends all of his time making up new contacts to gain a bunch of favors so he can set up an impromptu meeting with his father under his control. Sinclair does some shopping. Spends pretty much his whole month trying to track down a new augment for his blade, eventually finding a nice radiant one. Capriccio spends part of his time just being Capriccio and doing some companionship, and then at some point picks up a follower, worshiper. We're not really sure what this laughing seal is to him, but yeah, something. Acolyte, maybe. Argan does research, mostly into the abyss, but also a little bit into his chair. And Forgerum does what Forgerum does and does a bunch of crafting. Bakes a new coat for Zurazar and then starts working on a blade for Zurazar and a shield for Braska. After we've completed our month, we meet up with Zurazar, who tells us that he's arranged a meeting for with his father, though his father doesn't know that he's arranged it. We get all gussied up, including Argan putting on his Lyceum robes for the first time, and Capriccio in a brand new outfit. And we head off to meet up with his father. We surprise his father, who pulls us into his office, and we start noticing some oddities about the office. One of the windows was recently replaced. There was a carpet that looks like it had been heavily cleaned recently. The guards that Zurazar knows are supposed to hide behind the paintings, Sinclair notices are not there. After some time with his father trying to convince Zurazar to stay for the family and get married, Zurazar starts pushing on him being attacked. As he pushes, Argan starts noticing this aura of magic starting to tighten around him. We try to dispel it. That won't work. And Zurazar mentions Trent and Thief Chant, which makes it get even tighter. So Forger grabs him and removes Curse on him, where he immediately starts bleeding from the ears and nose. We recover him with a Forger healing him up. We find that he's missing a cube of flesh. It's been cut out of his chest and replaced with another one. We eventually find out he's been attacked by 2 Volstruckers, one of which did something with that cube that Argan realizes is some sort of link to him, so any damage done to the Volstrucker is done to him. But in order to break it, we're going to have to track down the Volstrucker. He was under orders to get Zurazar to stay here for 3 more weeks. Not sure why it was that specific time. And that's pretty much where we ended. His father was going to pack up and start hiding, and we were trying to decide who to tell about this incursion and where to go next.
So, you all step out of the estate. Father, or Zurazar's father, getting himself prepared to leave. What is it you guys would like to do? Shit's getting a little real.
Joey, check YouTube. Ruka made a dono.
It's the best Century Monk. All right, guys, roll off. See who gets this viewer inspiration.
I've already got one, so it's up to them three. I don't want to stack them.
Thank you, Ruka.
Ruka's awesome.
Argon, viewer inspiration. This is one of the few inspirations that allows you to have a reroll. Thanks. So,
we need to figure out what we're going to be sending off to the people that need to know. Also, Argon, if you teach me how to do it, I can learn it. I have not acquired my full list.
Sinclair, you just said we have to inform the people that need to know what people is it that you're thinking?
There's an incursion in Iman
Yeah.
from the Volstruckers. They are now no longer threatening to go after our family, but actively going against our family, which means your family's at risk, my family's at risk. So I would at least like to inform the Guardian Ox and my granddaughter. One of the two groups of them would relay it to the others, of course, saying, hey, the threat has become real. We are actively pursuing means of getting rid of this individual so that they can't make good on their threat.
Right.
Heighten the defenses. That would be the ones I would send to the family. As far as the people that should know about the incursion, Lady of Whitestone and maybe Lady Teresa. And
Okay.
I would say that Trent's Volstruckers have infiltrated Amon. 2 Volstruckers have attacked a member of our party's family. And
I get what to say. I'm just trying to figure out whom, because I don't think, I agree with you that the Lady of Whitestone is a valuable person to tell. I don't think, I don't see why Lady, the High Priestess, why can't I think of her name suddenly?
Teresa.
You just said
Teresa.
it. Teresa. I don't see why Teresa, since she's probably okay. I feel like the authorities here in Iman should be warned, or we should hunt these people down while we're here and try and deal with them. The only reason I ask is because I'm a little wary of whom and how many people we start telling, because as we arm people with knowledge about what we know, we also endanger those people.
well, that's why I said the information we give to our respective families is limited.
Yes.
We just tell them, hey, remember how I told you that the scary guy in the Empire made a threat against the family? Well, he's making good on that threat right now, and so heighten the defenses.
Right. I get it.
But the only other 2 people I can think of that should know would be those 2 ladies. And the only reason why I think Lady Teresa should be brought in is, well, I give her status updates, and then the fact that Argon himself stated that this is some sort of necromantic tethering. She may have more of an idea of the spell, or the necromancy professor at the college would know what kind of spell that might be.
Okay. Well,
Either one of those 2 people might give us some insight on the actual spell, or it could be one of the Volstrucker special abilities. I don't know.
okay. So I get it. Researching the spell is probably important, but here we are in town. We know that they're around. Shouldn't we look for some clues and maybe just see if we could track them down right now? Argon? Anybody think that's a
Yeah, we should see if we could find them.
Well, that's why I mentioned to Argand if he could teach me the spell, I could learn it.
I hear you. I'm not trying to make you defensive. I'm just trying to figure out if we're trying to make our next step. I think that I'll do sendings to my family. I would gladly do them to your family, and I would gladly do them to Teresa and the Lady of Whitestone. That's totally fine. But I think our focus should shift to hunting down
I agree.
this
Oh
scenario.
yeah, I'm definitely in for that.
Granted, it's been a month since they came and beat the living dog tail out of Zurazar's dad, so...
That's not how I remember it. I thought that it was only like a week before we made the visit. We've been in town for a month, but I think it was only a week before we made the visit to the dad. That
It was a
this
week
be-
before you showed up here.
at his
House
home.
or
The
in
wo-
Amon.
In Iman, a week before you showed up to Iman.
So it's been over.
So it's
a
been
month.
over a month.
It has been
Oh.
over a month that they've been here. Yes.
Okay, so that
And
That's why the
when he
scribe-
found out that you guys were in the city, that was a week ago when he got the most recent threat of you have to keep them here for 3 weeks. Or keep Zurazar here for 3 weeks.
Oh, so he got another threat last week.
Yes.
Okay. So they
How
are
did-
still in the area.
How did they communicate that to him?
They showed up. That's what he said.
yeah,
All right.
They beat on his knee again.
Because they realized that he was trying to communicate to you guys and, well, torture.
Mhm.
Okay, so they were here at least a week ago.
cool. So let's work on a plan. While you guys do that, I'm going to send sendings out to 3 of the 4 people that we need to speak with.
Send one to your family,
Yep.
Sinclair's family, and
Yep.
Broska's father.
Okay.
I will send one to Lady Vixalia,
Uh-huh.
and I will send one to my family. I don't have sending prepared, but I have the paper,
Yep.
so I'll do the paper to them.
Great. While you're at it, maybe show it to Sinclair and have him send one to Lady Teresa.
I already showed Sinclair how to do the paper, didn't I?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
matters if he bought the paper.
I
Because there's
still
not
have
a
paper.
lot of
I
magical
still
paper.
have
Nick.
magical paper.
Okay, all right. So long
Remember,
as you
I
guys
used
are
to have
checking off
the-
as you use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have the what is it? The visible ink.
Mm.
Yeah. I probably need to buy some more soon because I haven't used much of it for a long time because
Isn't
I have a spell book that doesn't require parchment.
right on? Isn't Lady Teresa just across, like,
She's in Vasselheim.
She's in
no,
Vasselheim.
She's a whole continent away.
got it?
And we don't
Right.
know anyone locally, so I think we should leave that up to Lady Vexalia to tell the people in Amon
Yeah.
because we don't know any of the local leaders.
And I can hold off on letting Lady Teresa know once we've dealt with the problem, because that would be a status update, if need be.
That's strategically a bad idea, and the reason why I would say that is because I think in a partnership it's best to communicate as you go. So I would say we tell her and let her know we're trying to find them and deal with it, but that Iman has been infiltrated to some extent.
I would say that to Lady Teresa, and I'm going to do the same thing to Lady Vexalia. Instead of saying that our family members have been attacked, tell them that the head of House Malar has been attacked.
Right.
Leave the fact out that he's related to Zurazar out of it, because that's up to Zurazar to decide whether we tell them that he's of House Malar or not.
Yes.
And it's important. I think it's more important for Lady Teresa and Vexalia to know that they targeted a noble of Amon than it is for them that they know that they targeted our family. For our family, we can tell them that they've come after other families of other members of our party. We don't need to tell them who that is, but to tell them that they're coming after family. But to the two officials, I would tell them that they went after the head of a house, not necessarily that they're related.
We
to
are not
us.
taking away player agency out of
Right.
character.
Right.
Yes.
How do you spell Malor?
Malur is what I have written down.
So the Lord of House Malor.
Yeah, I put him as the head of House Malar.
O-R.
Lord is it
O-R.
OR?
OR.
Okay. Malor. Okay.
Like my
Head,
lord,
Lord,
but
whatever
my
you want to
lord.
call it. Yeah.
I feel like there's a giving him the D joke in there somewhere to get to Lord, but maybe not.
It's definitely in there, but it's way too deep for us to bother
It is.
finding it.
Yeah, thanks.
We got layers on this.
Uh-huh. I've,
Alrighty. So, you can gather up your sendings, your pieces of paper, DM them to me at your discretion, or post them in here at your discretion.
Yeah.
Make sure you tack off the spell slots for the sending forge room.
Yep. I already did.
Alrighty then. So, players, what are we doing after you send your respective letters and you get your respective responses?
It takes what, 5 hours to learn a 5th level spell, Joey?
For wizards and shit, for you, I'd say, yeah, probably just over the course of that.
Okay.
Since you're just role-playing it as this instead of, like, doing it. You never took that
Yeah.
spell, right? Like, you never took that
Yeah,
extra spell.
I've had an
just
open
to
slot
hold it
for a
open for
while.
this. And that is a class spell, right?
Yes, that is a 5th level warlock spell.
Warlocks
Scrying.
get everything.
Not
What,
really.
sending?
Scrying.
Scrying.
No, I don't get sending as a warlock, which is why I learned fire paper.
Yes.
So here is the sending I sent to Lady Teresa. And for those in chat watching, it says, "My lady, this is Sinclair.
Oh, they can
Trent-
see.
Oh, okay. I was going to read it.
Okay.
Trent's Volstruckers have infiltrated Amon and attacked the head of House Malor and embedded a chunk of flesh into him, tethering his life to the agent who did it. Some kind of high-level necromancy effect or spell."
Alrighty. So, players, what are we doing now?
Do you think there's any chance of us finding any kind of clues around the house? Because we can't do scrying till tomorrow, because either I teach Sinclair or I memorize it one way or the other. It'll be in the morning.
Yep. Same with me.
Well, we see there's blood. Is there any way to tell if it's this blood of Malor or?
I thought the blood was clean. I thought what we found was clean carpet.
You found clean carpet that was so pristinely well cleaned that it definitely was cleaned up deliberately by somebody with a lot of skill.
Can we just get a recount from Zuazar's father, Mr. Malor, of the actions in the room, or?
Sure.
And I guess the important part is,
A
do we
week-
see which way they went?
No, he never saw which way they went. He only knows that they came through that window.
Yeah.
Which is why he had to get new shrubberies outside because they destroyed it, had to get a new window, and the carpet has a discoloration to it.
I would say let's see if there's any like fragments of the window, like under one of his desk or anything. Maybe it got missed.
Mm.
Maybe investigate. I can assist if someone wants to do that.
That would probably be Argan, and you can assist him and I'll guidance him.
Okay.
Okay.
You mind getting on all fours and like looking around for glass fragments?
I'll have Broska help you back up once.
So advantage with investigation.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then guidance.
And a D4.
Not bad. 30.
Dirty 30. A near impossible find. As you are investigating through the office, you start over by the window where everything had happened, and you look around at the stains on the floor and start estimating how that could have happened and where the glass probably shattered and cut somebody to produce blood all around here. And then you notice something. This carpet, it's refined carpet, handcrafted and woven. Triple weave, in fact. Something so incredibly dense that liquids could pass through, but it would have to be soaked in there for a period of time in order to do that. You go over to one of the corners and start pulling the carpet up, ripping across the floorboards, until eventually you find a blood stain underneath the windowsill that's soaked into the floorboards but was never cleaned off by the carpet scrubbing.
So that might be the other Volstrucker's blood, maybe? Well, but wouldn't that be the guards instead?
The guard was killed through the painting.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
The one Volstrucker went through the window,
Right.
and when the guard affronted him, the guard ended up dying for trying to strike at him for some reason. And then the other one was behind in the hallway already, and that's the one who...
So this should be the blood of the other Volstrucker, and we already have the flesh of the creepy necromantic one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's remove it from the floorboard. So let's chop the floorboard up a little.
Anybody have a chisel?
I
I know.
I could
Do we
make one,
have a
probably.
knife?
Forge from
I
both
will
sides.
actually take out my wood carving chisel and just do a nice fine plane so that when you replace the carpet, it actually doesn't seem like we've damaged the floors.
Now, as for Headmaster, are you sending that to your mother, or are you sending
Yes.
that to... Okay.
I'm sending it to my mother. Because
Okay.
that is that's the personal attack one, not the official government of Amon. That I'm sending through Lady Vexalia.
All right. I was more referring to Thunderbrand.
I know who you were.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not sending it to Thunderbrand.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I could. Should I send it to Thunderbrand? I'll ask
Send
the
it to
group.
Bo.
Well, I'm sending it to my
he's-
mother for sure.
He's
But-
acting headmaster
Right,
while
but-
she's on sabbatical. And we are near wherever a portal to the Lyceum might be. So
I will send the same letter I sent Lady Vexalia to Thunderbrand.
All right.
The more official, leaving out the family stuff. I need to go buy paper here at some point too.
yeah, definitely gonna need some paper.
This is a lot of information all at once, passing around.
Where did my paper go?
So, out of all the sendings that you send, you get two immediate replies from the pieces of paper. Oh wait, no, you're doing the.
I'm doing paper. That does not give an immediate
Ooh,
reply.
yeah, none of them could do that.
I don't have sending prepared.
Lady
so-
Vexalia can. She's the only one who can.
For sending, Lady Teresa has sending.
Well, no, I'm worried about the paper ones. Teresa would not be awake at this hour.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's a sending. She's awake now.
Well, I
didn't
mean,
say-
it waits
we
until
didn't-
you
we-
wake up, or else I would have a lot of evil NPCs fuck y'all over. Just every night, hello, how are you dreaming today? I hope you are not uncomfortable with the thoughts of me skinning your mother alive. And then try to sleep. Like,
Joke's on you. I don't know who that is.
yeah, good luck trying to sleep after remembering you don't know who that is.
Ah, crap.
Mine's
walked
been
into
dead
that one.
longer than you've been alive.
So, Lady Vexalia sends a piece of paper back to you immediately. That is a strange necromancy. Reggie says that that is one of the twos by the sounds of it. Usually travels with another one who, and then new piece of paper. Another one who, if they see you and mark you, any damage you would deal to them are dealt back to you. I'll send security out.
I will pass on her reply to the group.
So this is 2 twos.
Yes, that makes. So they travel in pairs. That explains what happened to the guard.
Right.
If one makes the ruckus, and then the other sneak in while the guards are focusing on that and assassinate the guards. It's a good way to infiltrate, that's
I
for
really
sure.
hope that we run into that dude. Flame strike. Oof.
As long as he can't see you, because if he can see you, you're the one getting flame struck.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter to Fordrum. It's fire.
Oh, that's true.
Look at
Oh,
that.
It's
no.
half fire, half radiant.
Yeah.
Hit both
I'll
of
take
us.
half the radius.
At least we, you know, get
Gotta
a
hit him
thing
from
and then
behind is
go
the
over and
point.
heal him.
That or catch them off guard or use magic that cloaks our bodies.
So is it I take all the damages instead of him, or is it we both take all the damage? Because one of those I'm fine with.
Hmm.
From what we heard, it's you take all the damage.
As well.
That's what we're. I did not take it
As well or instead?
I took it as instead.
I thought it was if the Volstrucker dies,
No. You're confusing the
dad
two.
dies. as
You're
well.
confusing the two, Sinclair.
No.
Yeah.
There's one Volstrucker that yes, if they die, Zurazar's father dies.
Yes.
That's the one with the cube.
Yes.
The other one that killed the guard, if he sees you and marks you, any damage you do to him is done to you instead. That's what killed
What if he
the guard.
sees you? What if he sees you, marks you, and someone else does the damage?
Hmm. That'd be
We
worth
do
testing.
not have enough information to answer that question 100%.
It's all right. Just make sure he
God
marks
damn it.
Proska first. Trial and error, right?
I mean, he is definitely going to see me first.
So you draw his attention and then hug him, and then Sinclair can run behind him where you can't see him and stab him in the kidneys.
No. First, you should probably do a little test thing. Like, I'll just bonk him once with the hammer and see what happens.
You think Proska would feel a bonk? Come on.
But that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
Broska, what I would
No.
think is your first thing to do is if the
Tackle him to the
guy's not
ground.
missing
Got
a
that.
chunk from his chest,
No,
the other
that's
guy.
yeah. Well, yeah. I'm sure it's going to be more complicated than just pulling the chunk of flesh out.
oh no.
Well, no.
I
if
mean,
it's that
like,
guy, then I just go to town.
hug Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, no, Zurazar's dad. Wait, hold on.
Hershey's got no.
Zuvazar already said he doesn't want you to fucking kill his dad.
I know. That's why I'm holding on for a minute here. Thought I had this figured out.
We hug one
not.
and then knock him unconscious.
I kind of feel like using the same spell that disconnected the charm from the dad might be interesting. If we cast that on the guy who made the tether,
But it might.
the greater restoration, I feel like that could. I don't know.
I'm going to attempt a feedback loop him is what I'm going to try to do.
I will cast the mental shield for whoever needs it. Maybe the effect of seeing someone and marking them requires you to do a battle of minds. I don't know.
We have no
Couldn't
idea.
hurt.
I know one of my two means of messing with someone, marking someone, doesn't. So I don't know if it's on the same scale as that or.
Can you say that again? One of your two means of marking someone doesn't what?
They can't
require
resist
a battle of minds. Actually, I don't think either of them require a battle of minds.
it. Yeah. He's saying that they can't resist it.
Got
There's
it.
no way for you to fend off his ability. And
I
we're assume that his is probably the same way.
Yeah. Unless it's psychic, at which point the spell I have would give you some resilience against it. But...
Yeah, but we're making a whole bunch of conjecture. We have no idea what it.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
is-
it doesn't hurt to have that spell. That's always a good thing to have on Braska, but we don't know whether we have no idea whether it will make a difference or not. How isolated is this house?
It's like a good 50 yards from another one.
Is it surrounded by walls?
Hedges, not really
Hedges?
walls.
I'm just wondering if maybe a neighbor saw something. Or there's got to be staff here, right?
they all took a sabbatical.
Did they?
Yeah, Zurazar paid off most of the staff except the cook.
Well, he paid off his guards, I thought. Did he pay
Three
off
of
all
the
of them?
5 personal guards were paid off.
What? But
And the other 2 are dead.
yeah, but I'm not talking guards. I'm talking staff, cooks, maids, other people that could have seen what happened. That the Volstruckers, much like Zurazar's father, would consider inconsequential and not really worry about.
The
Or like
chef's in the other room, isn't it?
Gardner.
There was no chef in there.
Oh, I thought he said there was a cook or something in the other
No,
room.
there
where
was
he said
food.
Roscoe.
There was
There
food.
was a Braska in the other room.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe he already set out all of his servants, but I would be really surprised from the brief I've gotten from Zurazar's father so far.
Would you like to do a check? Do you have any
Yes.
ideas to try to find them? Survival through the house, or if you have a different idea, you can execute that.
Is there a bell or anything on like his desk?
Yes, there is.
I ring the bell.
Ding, ding,
This
ding,
is
ding,
how
ding,
the
ding,
Emperor used to get a hold of someone.
I'll roll a survival to go see if I can find the gardener or groundskeeper.
ding. Okay. 22 survival. There is a shed or a shack outside, hidden away in one of the corners, and when you go over there and look inside, there's a cold, frigid cold cup of tea, a fire that is smoldered down into absolutely nothing that has no heat on it any longer, and blood-stained sheets.
Oh shit!
Well,
You're right,
evidently,
they are inconsequential.
He didn't even notice that they killed all of his staff. That was the other way that could have gone. So yeah, I completely buy that. Don't take that the wrong way. I completely buy that he did that.
There, thorough.
Yeah, which also doesn't surprise me. I was hoping they would be more
Well, I'll keep looking to see if I can find the actual body so I can pray over it.
Well, I just thought it'd be worth to see if there was any other.
Let me know if you need help digging holes.
So you're looking for a body in here?
I mean, if there's bloody sheets and things like that, then yes, I would sort of keep looking to see if I find a body and then go ahead and handle it the way decent people do. Pray on it, dig a hole, whatever.
Give me an investigation roll, please.
Oh, shit. That's not my thing. All right. There we go. It's more than one. It's twice as good as one.
Wait, am I better at that than you are?
Yeah.
Alrighty. There's definitely no body in here.
All right.
Just move that hand out of your way, and yeah, you're good. But no, there's no body in there.
Right. Come back and let people know. I think the groundskeeper was killed. There's bloody sheets and a cold cup of tea and no fire. And this place is literally a huge crime scene.
Yeah. So unless they took the bodies with them or disposed of them somehow, we could search. But unless we find a head that's intact, which I highly doubt they would leave, because that's the easiest way to get information out of someone who is dead, and they seem to be the thorough type. There's pretty much no hope in getting any information from the remains.
Yeah, for the sake of being thorough, I'm gonna see if I can find the servants' quarters in the house.
All right, investigation.
Oops, I don't have guidance.
Yeah, guidance.
Okay.
No,
well,
you're outside investigating.
Yeah.
He's inside.
So 26.
26 compared to
Sorry.
28. I'm sorry you failed because you're missing that too.
know.
But
A
yes,
DC 27 is terrible.
I know it's horrible. I'll double check that there's no bodies in the larder. All right, go ahead and roll me an investigation, Prosk.
What's the larder? Is that the kitchen?
Basically the pantry.
Yeah.
7. You would have smelt it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There was a chicken at one point.
Argon, you do find through the kitchen that there is a staff's quarters, which is for you a walk sideways up the stairs, very tight corridor to get up to their rooms. And looking at all of the bedrooms, they are pristinely well kept. They look freshly made, 100% intact, but there's not a single person belonging in any of them besides one that currently has a youngish man, maybe in his early 20s, lying in the bed sleeping.
Is my true seeing still up?
Yes.
Okay. Do I see any spell around him?
No.
I'm gonna try and gently shake them awake.
What? Huh? I'm sorry. Who? What are you doing in my quarters?
We were here visiting the Lord of the House.
Does he need something? Dreadfully sorry. And they start leaning out of bed and getting their shoes on.
He's fine at the moment. We are aware that he has had some unrequested visitors over the last few weeks. Were you aware of either of those incidents?
I'm sorry, I'm newly employed. I just started working here a week ago.
Are you the only one currently working on the property?
Yes, quite of the other trained servants have been avoiding working for him. I'm fearful that he's. There's rumors and such, but I needed a job, so now I have a job.
They've recently quit, or they just stopped showing up for work.
I am. They kind of disappeared. The previous
okay.
staff, I mean, all trained servants like ourselves, we frequent the same watering holes. And they kind of all just stopped showing up, and then there was advertisements for the 4 vacancies immediately, and, well, I'm the only person to have stepped up and taken that role so far.
Is Zurzar's father still in the house packing?
Oh, no, he's gone by now.
Oh, okay. I don't know if he's going to continue to pay him or not. I believe that the Lord had to take an emergency trip. I do not know when he will return. Just in case, God, to make sure that you're okay, and I will hand him 5 platinum pieces.
Sir, I will
This
keep
will
the
keep you on.
facilities
Yes,
working
keep
and
the
functioning.
facilities up to date
Yes, sir.
until his
Yes.
return.
Oh, you're a Lyceum employee? Professor?
Graduate.
Graduate. Very, very kind, sir. I have a young niece, who we're trying to get tested for magical aptitude. If there's ever a opening, if you would be inclined, I could maybe you could test to see if she was potentially.
I will certainly endeavor to do so if I have a free moment.
Wonderful, thank you.
Just leave a name and address in the office, and if we swing back, I will pick that up.
Will do, sir. Thank you.
You can go back to your nap for now. They don't need anything currently.
Much appreciated. Just lays
And I
back
will-
in the bed.
I will leave the quarters.
Nice guy, Argon. Made a rich peasant.
I did.
How dare you give him hope?
You just paid the enemy.
The enemy?
For all you know, that could be a spy, a plant.
I guess it's possible. But that's
I
not.
mean, it'll be
I guess
fun.
Argon's not that paranoid, so. Argon assumes he's what he says he is, a servant. So I will go back downstairs to the main quarter, which I'm assuming by then Fordham's probably returning.
Yep. And Broska's back with the last jar of peanut butter.
Okay.
Positive that the pantry is empty.
I will tell them that I found a sleeping servant upstairs. He has only been employed for a week after all of the other servants mysteriously disappeared.
Yep, someone was killed in the groundskeeper. There was blood in the thing, and everything else seemed old. So,
Well, that coincides.
He seemed
So-
to be very thorough.
Yes. So he doesn't know anything. He's the only current staff on hand, so I'm not really sure there's much else to learn here.
Is it wise to leave him here?
I am sure he will stay loyal for at least the time being, but we can tell Zurazar and he can make the decision before we leave town what to do with it.
Oh no, I meant if when we go out looking for the Volstructors, if they happen to come back to check in on their goose, find him gone, and find a servant, they're just going to execute the servant?
that's a good idea. We'll leave Zurazar and Capriccio here to protect him. Now, come on. Let's
Good
go.
call.
There you go.
Good call. Perfect.
All right,
So it was like,
Zurazar,
I have no
clean up
problem
your
just waiting in his room quietly.
clean up your family business, and Capriccio will stay here to keep you entertained while you do that. You guys can run some parties, keep up appearances.
Gonna have to restock the pantry. I think Brushy
Yeah.
just cleaned it out again.
Somebody emptied the larder.
It is barren.
Everything but the silverware.
Cough of a fork.
So,
I need to chew better.
any other discoveries you all found that you wish to share with one another?
I don't think I found anything else.
Peanut butter and bananas go super well together.
Well,
They
That
do.
sounds weird.
I don't know how well trained that servant is, because when a master rings his bell, the servant on duty should come running.
Well,
I mean-
A, he was asleep. And B, he was the only one that accepted the job after 4 other people mysteriously disappeared. I'm really doubting he's the cream of the servant crop.
Okay.
Know your value, people.
I mean, you're welcome to go question him if you think there's something odd about him. I guess I just accepted that he's what
Probably
he
an idiot.
proposes to be. Not so much an idiot as in not well accustomed to what he's currently doing. I don't think he understands his full responsibilities as a servant, and there's no one else here to teach him. I think he was a guy off the street who saw a job opening when he needed it and got lucky in the fact that nobody else wanted the job.
We call those people mostly functional in
Yes.
our town.
It's possible that with years and some guidance, he may become a great servant. It's also possible that, yeah, he's a plant.
Yeah.
But,
So, like Fordham's nephew.
yeah,
No, not at all like my nephew. My nephew is motivated by what he is enjoying doing and doing it very well. The problem with most people who are mostly useless is they don't have a duty that suits what they want to be doing.
Hmm.
I have
My
a feeling your cousin's going to be a master of, or nephew's going to be a master of disguise by the time we get back.
I sure
Just a-
hope so.
Just a feeling I have.
My nephew is going to progress fine.
All right. So, is there anything else we want to check, or are we going to set up for the night and get prepared to scry for them in the morning?
Yes,
Okay.
I think that's a good plan.
Do you think any of these documents that I found are going to be important to us?
I think
now?
that these documents are related more to Zurazar's family business than they would be anything related to what they are doing. They had him under a pretty heavy gas to not be able to tell anyone what he was up to. So I can't imagine he was capable of writing any of it down.
Right.
So all you would be doing would be, if you found anything, would be incriminating Zurazar's family. And I don't think Zurazar would prefer that you do that.
But did you get him from the desk?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he
Oh, no.
moved them. He moved them into a pile off to the side, being nonchalant. So,
Yeah, yeah. Those
wait,
are his documents, not.
And by extension, they're Zurazar's. So I don't think we should make
But
don't think
maybe
there are-
give them to him to let him make those decisions.
Yes.
Remember, nobody for what we're dealing with is a suspect, sort of, here in this space. So we should put those back.
if Zurazar
And
wants
we
to
are
read
also-
them, yeah. If Zurazar wants to read them and finds out that his father is involved in something, then we could take a look at him. But I would prefer us not be the one that searches through his family secrets.
Right.
I'll hand them over to Zurzar then.
There you go.
Perfect. And when the player's back, we can get through
Yes.
that.
You can decide then whether that was a red herring or whether it's vitally important.
Do I give
Or
you
whether
guys
it's just
red
taken a different way.
herrings?
Yeah. I don't know because I never follow what we're doing, so I never know whether they're red herrings or not. Sinclair seems to be the one that picks up most of the pieces.
He also seems to be the one that just throws the most shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. So
That's usually my course of thought. Like,
yeah.
I see a stack of papers. Maybe there's something important. Maybe it's a waste of 10 minutes.
All right. Are we just gonna stay here tonight, or are we going
Oh,
all the
God,
way
no.
back to the other place?
Why? Yes, we should stay here. This place is luxurious. And besides, what if they come here? We're already here. It's brilliant.
That's a good point. I was actually going to advocate for going back, but now that's a good point.
There's no food in the pantry, Braska. There's food back at the estate.
Nah, we got to go back.
I will put up the mansion, and Zurzar or Broska could go inside, eat, and come back out.
We can stay.
And I will put up a hut here just to give us a little bit of cover, and we can keep watch.
Decisions are solely made based off of your stomach, Braska.
He's the stomach of the party.
All
No,
right.
They say Fordrum's the heart of the party. Braska is the stomach.
And the washboard abs,
Yep.
somehow.
Yeah.
Argan, that makes you the brains.
Yeah.
My spleen.
I think you may be the other half of the heart. I think it's just you're not so much the functioning blood pressure heart. You're the
You're the index finger pointing at everything.
Fair.
We all know that Capriccio are the loins. And-
All right.
all right. I will set up the mansion so that Braska has somewhere to eat.
Alrighty
Uh,
And then the dome to protect
Yeah.
the mansion.
We'll put up a dome in case anyone's
Layers.
worried about them coming in. The dome's going to be outside the mansion because we're not staying in the mansion because otherwise we won't see anything.
then. Alrighty. Then you all just go to sleep?
No, we'll keep watches.
Alrighty.
No, I gotta learn a spell first, and then we'll be doing watches.
Yes, I will teach Sinclair a spell.
Okay, then. So that means you guys are doing first shift since you're teaching him the spell.
Yes.
And then you need to practice the spell for a few hours, making sure you have it all down. Probably for like a little bit in the morning, and then you'll be good, Sinclair.
Okay.
Then you finally have your spell that you've been trying to learn for ages.
That's a divine spell, so, I have to come up with a reason to learn them.
So, one by one, you take your watches and you go to sleep. Argan,
Mm-hmm.
during your rest,
You get a creepy voice in your sleep.
I need you to give me wait, where is it? A wisdom saving throw.
Is this a spell or magical effect?
Yes, it is.
Because I have advantage on those, thankfully. Well, I guess the one was the other side, so
So 20 is your roll.
20 is my roll.
That is a failure.
Oh, that's not good.
Argan. Your dream starts off usually how it does, as you've trained yourself to dream, to be more focused on the tasks at hand and what is going to be happening the next day. But as that is happening, you realize you are in a different room, a cage, with a single chair that's just so uncomfortable to be seated in. And outside the cage, it is pitch black. Nothing for you to see at all. And then you hear footsteps approaching you. They're echoing from all around. And the suspense feels like it's just killing you, as whatever's walking towards you should have been here by now. And about 30 minutes of this go by before you see a face you've only seen a couple of times in your life. Trent. Mr. Lyceum. When
Mr. Ekathon?
when I accepted you into our academia, I did not know that you would be a spy. I have to say, I'm very disappointed in your mother.
I have to say, I was never a spy.
Hmm.
My time at the Institute is completely separate from our current. Oh, how do we say this?
Predicament.
Predicament? Fine. Our current disagreement was, and to be fair, the truth is, my mother never even knew I was going to the Institute at the time.
Well, I suppose this is just fate then, that we turn out to be enemies.
I guess so. I think from what I've learned about you, that may have been inevitable, regardless.
Not inevitable. I, for one, don't know why we are enemies. We seek the same thing. Knowledge. We seek to further ourselves, ignoring consequences for others.
No, see, that's where the difference is. I don't ignore the consequences for others.
Really?
I agree with the seeking knowledge.
You really think
And
that I would believe that? Look at the trail left behind you in blood. You pursuing secrets about me has led to the death of quite a few people already. And the bodies will continue to pile up. How high should that pile get before you can no longer see past it?
I am fairly tall. Those bodies that I've piled up, the difference between my bodies and yours, Trent, is my bodies are soldiers, people in the fight, not innocents, not bystanders.
There are no innocents in this world.
There's always innocence in this world.
No. There's just naivety. Nothing else. But you have something of mine. 2 things, I might add. I require them back.
I am sure that you do.
You have 2 options. Option 1. You will take them and you will deposit them into a location that I will tell you about tomorrow when you awaken. Option 2. You do not do this, and your companions' family members begin to pile up. And I personally visit the south of Tal'Dorei, where your mother is. You may have a tremendous amount of faith in her, but I assure you I have more experience in combat and magehood than anybody on this plane.
Didn't we already have this conversation, Trent?
The difference is, I know who everybody is now. You see, walking up behind him, there's images of different people that you've met along the journey. There's images of Sinclair's folks and people, not specifically his great-granddaughter, but the people. There's images of Braska's father. There's images of Fordrum's entire family. And then there's images of your 2 siblings and your mother and your father. And then you see, for some reason, he doesn't have anything on Capriccio or Zurazar that he's willing to share right now.
That's a chunk of my companions, but not all.
Some of them are, let's say, a little more difficult to get to. But little tiny folk kept safe up in the mountains on my continent, I might add. Uthodon is nowhere near as defensible as people think it is. Sure, from weather, not from mages. And he just places his hand, like, right next to one of Fordrim's cousins, and the neck snaps at an awkward angle and falls to the ground.
You'll understand, Trent, that this is not my decision to make alone.
Yes, it is.
I'm not currently in possession of your items, so it's not my decision to make alone.
You are the mage of your troop of imbeciles. If you say you need to look at it for a special reason, you can be clever. They will trust you, and you will deliver it where I deem. Failure to do so means a very prompt visit from me to your mother. I'm done sending peons. You all are more than a thorn in my side now. What will it be?
Guess we'll find out tomorrow, won't we, Trent?
I suppose we will. He begins walking away, and you begin hearing the sounds of every single person that he has shown to you, crying and wailing and begging you to just do what he wants so they'll stop being tortured. All of these very personal details and memories that he should not have access to begins fluttering through your dream, and you have a completely restless night, obtaining no long rest. The dream spell's a hell of a drug.
Does that mean I can't change spells either? I know I don't get my slots back.
You don't get your slots back. Let's read it. When you complete a long rest, I think it's specifically
Yeah, I
says.
think you're right. So I don't think I get any of them back.
Yep. You don't get anything back, and you can't swap anything.
Okay.
So, you also suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay.
Morning rolls around. Everybody wakes up. Nothing happened last night, guys.
Anyone want breakfast?
I had a visit.
Oh, you look like shit. No offense. I mean,
I spent my night trapped in some sort of dream with Trent.
Oh, that's a nightmare. To be sure.
He's demanding his items returned now, or he immediately starts going after our family. No more pawns that he sends. He specifically showed me your family, Fordrum, all of mine. Sinclair, your people, not specifically your great-granddaughter, and Braska, your father. He did not send anything about Zurazar or Capriccio. He did say that my mother would be first.
That's odd, because his men have already been, they already captured his dad and tortured him, so why wouldn't they just show you him unless he thinks that we haven't discovered that they've already implanted things into his dad? He may not be as all-seeing as we think he might be.
It's possible. I do not know enough about whatever he did to me. I don't know if the images he showed me are things he actually knows, or if they're things pulled from my own mind that he may not necessarily know.
Like your own fears used against you?
Yes,
Do you have a 2-minute slot open?
I do.
Oh, you have that.
I hand you the robe and I go, put this on, give it an hour, get you an hour rest. We're going to become an even bigger thorn in his fucking side.
So what do we do?
We
Well,
track
first-
down these two and we dispatch them. While you're sleeping, I'll be scrying. With Forger's help.
Sure.
So that deals with them, but that in no way deals with Trent.
I could send fire paper to your mother.
Well, I could send fire paper to my mother. That's not the point.
Well, let's look at it as timeline. We don't have a way legitimately to deal with Trent now, today, here. We do have a way to potentially deal and clear up this thing that's happened around here specifically. So we could get torn and thrown to asunder where we run to our families and try and protect them. Or we consider this place damage done and get to the next probable place where there's another piece of Trent's, whatever we're calling these things, and continue to harm him. Rebuttal with, you know what's worse than you missing 2 of your pieces? Missing 3. Keep reversing the threat. You'll never get him back if you threaten our family. And we figured out where the rest are. Man, don't tell him that.
And I have the dirt from the shade that we need to. We can throw these pieces into. It would really suck giving it all to one entity, but if push comes to shove, we could throw it there and let the king of the Cthulhian Empire safeguard it.
So I know I have a history of not thinking things through, but that seems like a particularly bad idea on our end.
All I know is he can't use his powers there.
Yes, but presumably we have to destroy these to destroy Trent. The more of them that are in his hands, the more likely we have to go find more of them it's going to take before we can destroy him. I'm hoping that by destroying some of them, it will weaken him.
Right.
And so the more of them that are held on by this other entity we have no idea how to deal with, the worse.
I think that's I think giving them to anyone else is a bad idea. I think we should get them destroyed and see what happens. I mean, again, we've already risen his ire, but we can either fight fire with fire, or we can fight fire or intimidations with intimidations. We have a hand. We are holding valuable parts, literally, in his case. So the push can go either way.
I guess the reason why he can't just bounce to his part is the fact that one's in a plane that he has no control of power on, and the other is in a box that he can't detect.
You hear a loud knocking at your magical door.
I'm sorry, where is this?
Magical door. The mansion has a
mansion.
door.
Right. Oh, got it. I got it.
One of the servants open the door.
All right. One of the servants open. You hear calling in. Arkin, Fordrum, may I enter?
Does anyone
I'd look
recognize
around.
that
Who
voice?
is it?
That's Reggie.
Oh God, yes.
Reggie struts in, walks into the dining hall, looks at the table, and will pick up a waffle and a chicken leg and begin eating that. The Lady of Whitestone has sent me out here to assist you with whatever it is that you are looking for, and information pertaining to the two number 2s that you are going to be interacting with. Long time no see.
Trent sent Argon a nightmare.
Welcome.
Ah, he used the dream spell on you, huh?
Yeah, are you aware of how that works?
Yes, and it's fucking brutal. If he chooses, you are not able to sleep through the evening if you can't repress your mind enough to not be able to process any information while you are in there. Something that is very difficult to do, I might add. It was utilized on us during training twofold, in order to keep us working even while we were resting, learning what we can as quickly as possible, as well as punishment for us who stepped out of line before we received our second dose of the serum.
Are the things he showed me things he knows, or is he capable of just showing me my worst nightmares and my own mind pieces those images together?
That I'm not entirely sure of. I personally do not have that spell. It seemed a little too evil for my liking.
Because he showed a lot of personal information, and my question is whether he actually knows that or not.
He did that to me as well during my training. But he knew everything about me. My family were the ones that handed me over after all, so... So, what are we doing? Are we going on the offense or the defense?
I need to go take my hour rest, because if I don't get spells back, I'm not going to be any helpful. So why don't you guys fill in Reggie and get what you can out of him, and I'll be back in an hour.
All right. Well, I think the plan is to go on the offense.
Yes, the two plans are either hunt for the 2s.
One moment. Before you go to sleep, Hagen, come here. And he'll
Okay.
wipe his hands clean with some cloths from the grease and the syrup. We'll go over. Do you trust me?
Yes.
He places 2 fingers on your forehead and 2 fingers on your right shoulder, and then pulls down to your nose and your heart at the same time, and you feel this wave of magic that pulsates through you, and he casts Mind Blank on you.
Okay. I'm going to start burning an 8th level spell to do that every day.
It's one way to make sure he can't dream you.
That or find something that can block mental connections.
Yeah, it's either the spell or that.
Even intellect fortress won't help you.
That may help you to rest up,
Thank you.
of course.
I'm going to go. Oh, go ahead.
I have to do this to myself every day so he doesn't torment me. Oh, and I also might have to add, he does not sleep. So don't anticipate him to take an evening off if he does not desire to. He has killed people utilizing this.
Yeah, I would suspect an undead monstrosity like him not to sleep.
But anyways, offense or defense? And on that question, we're going to go on break, guys.
Okay.
So we can actually discuss out of character what it is we'll be doing. Be right back.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, folks, we're back. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you all had a good break. Before we jump back in the action, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in joining our community and helping us to push forward in this world, please consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. If you're interested in joining any of our games, we have open slots available. Reach out to me and let me know. Both the open slots are on Friday, though. So Friday early and Friday evening for an epic level. Ooh, spicy, right? Yeah, sounds spicy to me. Anyways, you guys have been brewing up a plan. Argan just went to sleep in the hopes that he's not going to get dreamed upon by Trent again. Everyone else, what would you like to do?
We've been rock, paper, scissoring around about who's doing what. Where Sinclair is writing fire notes out to priests and people around the world. I will do a sending to my family, just letting them know that within the coming days we will be visiting and hopefully asking if they would like to relocate for a time until it is safer. We'll tell you more when we get there. And then meanwhile, when Argan wakes back up, we're going to hunt for 2 and 22, or the 2s. Reggie, any tips you can give us for where to find these guys would be really helpful, but I understand if you want to stay out of it.
Those two were members of my graduating class, as we refer to it. In our class, they were the highest ranked individuals to graduate. Me, myself, I only was able to rank high enough to be considered 9. But they would have been considered for the title of 1 if it was not for the fact that 1 refused to share their title with anybody who could not best them in a duel, and everybody who tries to duel them dies. So, not a good idea, yeah?
Yeah.
The 2 of them were very close. They were recruited as siblings, brother and sister. The one showed an aptitude for necromancy unlike anybody else that Trent had ever seen, aside from himself, of course. However, she had a little problem with her necromancy. She was not capable of quickly casting her spell, so instead, she was trained in the art of warfare, deception, other things like that. And then her knack for spell casting is all unique only to her. Nobody else really possesses that amount of magical comprehension of necromancy at all. She is capable of taking patches from individuals, and once she has them, she is able to make it so that she can do multiple different magical effects based upon that. Either she can trade her own, she can trade whatever happens to her to them, the individual who has it, until they would die. Or she was capable of being able to, how do I put this? See what they see, if she desired. She could use this in all manners of different ways, and the person with the enchantment on them were none the wiser as to what it was that was happening to them during all of this. Now, it is also important for us to point out that she is a master of the necromantic arts. She knows how to control undead. She knows how to utilize them to her benefits, and she knows how to be a major pain in the ass with hordes, control, all of the like. Her brother, on the other hand, was the other end of the spectrum. Though his power in necromancy is incredibly adept, it was his death gaze that we ended up calling it. Very edgy, in my opinion, but he seemed to like edgy things like that. Very dark, gothic individual. When he stares at somebody, he can see something that we have not been able to see before. At least I haven't. And he is able to tie his own life to that individual so that anything that would happen to him would happen to that individual instead. Now, this could be a spell being casted upon him. This could be damage being dealt to him. All manner of different things. He can use it offensively and defensively as well. So be fully aware of that. If he is looking at his sister, he can transfer anything that would happen to him to her, which then transfers to whoever she is currently connected to. Last I knew about, she was able to have up to 3 connections at the time.
Do you think there's a magic like that could disconnect her? And the only reason I ask is that, Zurazar's dad was being controlled under one of those Geese kind of a spells, and I was able to
Yes, the
restore.
Geas spell.
Yeah, yes, that's
Spell. Just
You said the female had the ability to have
And
up
we
to
were able
3 tethers.
yes, 3 connections. But what were you saying, Fortune?
and we were able to restoration him apart, basically. But I think that we would need to use that same sort of magic to disconnect her from her people that she's connected to. We'd have to use it on her, I think. Right?
I think that's what we were believing.
For him
A
and
theory.
her, Z special abilities supersede any magical effects. Unfortunately. Neither of them can honestly be considered dispellable in mundane means. It is very unfortunate. It ties to a spiritual aspect of them. And there was rumors in school, but they were only rumors. But if it somehow helps all of you, I have to feel like I have to share the rumors with you. Everything that they were capable of doing stemmed from their parents who were caught being occultists to Vecna. And they thought that maybe the Zavoshaka infusion infused something even more powerful into themselves. I should have known back then that us bringing in cultists of Vecna was probably a bad idea. Yeah. Maybe it has
Well-
something to do with the spirit or the tether of an individual that they connect to. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
and those were
And
just
ju-
rumors. I feel like I have to share them though.
Right. And it's interesting that one can see something and the other one uses patches of its skin.
Joey,
Alright.
can I do some sort of check to recall what I read in the Book of Vecna before I burned it? Because I was under its control at one point.
You were under the control for like 10 seconds where you opened the book and then went, no, and then burnt it.
Well, I started reading it, so it's to recall what I read.
This is not something you read about, more than likely.
Okay.
Yeah, not really.
I think it said the word author, and that's as far as you got.
Ah,
Author,
Vecna. That sounds great.
Written, on-
Nope.
written by V.E. What?
When I wake up, I have an idea. when I'm back to the group. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I have an idea that might work.
Cool.
Reggie, if I'm in the process of messaging the individual that was presented to us by the Admiral, one of his subordinates that is currently hunting Volstruckers with his siblings.
Yes, I remember. We talked about this together.
If they have any additional questions that they might want to ask, is it okay that they message you?
Absolutely. At any time. I am, if I'm being honest, almost at my patience end when it comes to interacting with the Tal'Dorian fleet and their lawful nature around politics. I would much rather be more influential in the way of fucking destroying Trent like it needs to happen.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm a bit frustrated.
we have a bit of research then that maybe you could help with.
Yes, please put me in a fucking book over those rooms and offices.
How do you get from here to hell? To, well, the abyss.
Here to the abyss.
We need, well, so without telling you too much, because I don't want you to necessarily own this like we have chosen to, we need to go there to break some things that will greatly weaken Trent.
Make him mortal again.
You need to get into the abyss.
Yes.
Well, you would need to
Hopefully-
find a way there through a different plane of existence. The only plane of existence that I am aware of is, well, the Shade, but the connection we have to the Shade is inside of the Empire.
No, we can do that one.
We
We've
can
got
get
a
to
way
the
in
shade.
there.
We go through the Shadowfell to get to the Shade.
Well, no, the portal that you guys were at in the ruins,
Yeah.
that area. Yeah. That was what he was referring to.
But those ruins that you're talking about weren't in the Empire.
Well, they're within the Empire's influence and territory, specifically.
Oh,
He's not talking about the Circle of the Raven Queen.
No,
He's
he
not
is not.
talking about-
Only
Yeah.
Raven Queen people know about
He
that.
does not know
Right.
about that. Yes, we have our own way in.
right. That's
What
why
you're saying.
I'm saying we have a way into the Shade that isn't in the Empire too.
Well,
I
you
don't
have a
wanna-
way into the Shadowfell. The Shade is a different realm.
Yes, but there we do know there is a portal.
From Fordrum, it goes tomato.
We know how to get from A to C.
So if you tell me a planes that you can get to, I can begin researching how to get to the Abyss. I know that the Abyss has a very close relationship to all planes of existences, particularly Hell and the Shadowfell. Those are the two that are closest to it. The Shadowfell is like, for lack of a better term, the crossroads to wherever you go in your afterlife. And unfortunately, a lot of people deserve to go to the Abyss, apparently. And the Hells are, to the best of my knowledge, the battlegrounds where the devils and the demons fight each other before the Abyss. If you remember
That
when
could
I
be
first
fun.
met you, Fordrum,
Uh-huh.
there was the church to the Queen of Ravens
Yes.
that they were conducting magics in. They were summoning devils and fiendish powers through there.
Yeah. That was in Port
Shice.
Zune?
Yes.
What? It was in the Menagerie.
Oh
Coast
yeah,
of
that was Port
Zune,
Zune. Yeah,
right?
good memory. He reaches
Yeah.
into his jacket and pulls out a book he has and begins flipping through it. Scheisse. He places it down and pushes it towards you, Fordrum. You're a ritual caster. Roll me an Arcana check.
I just.
Let's see. There's a chance.
I'm gonna use my game advantage. What the hell? I feel like this could be a thing. Double ones. Oh,
17. That's
17.
a motherfucking summoning circle with fiendish script on it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of those circles for summoning the...
This
That
is
guy.
connected to one of the devils that were being summoned.
Okay.
Now, if you can set up a magical protection circle, I believe Ogin can do that.
Yeah.
You would be able to summon this devil inside of the circle safely and have a conversation with it. Now, keep in mind, they do not really like to talk to people very well. Especially people that force them to come to the material plane without offering them something. So you probably want to offer them something. But if there's anyone who knows how to get to the hell safely, it might be, well, by the looks of this, Baylor, I believe.
We have a scroll to one of those.
You have a fucking what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a scroll that summons a Baylor.
He slams his bookshelf. Well, then you don't need mine. And he puts it back in his robes. Sorry, I keep saying robes like he's like a wizard. He puts it back in his cloak. He's a badass, not a wizard.
Oi!
Hey. He
Fair.
snaps
I take
fire at
offense
people.
to that. Wizards can be
We all remember
badass.
Isocross. You shouldn't.
The only other option we have is
Aw.
to use the object to plane shift, but that's more dangerous.
It is. You never want to go to one of the outer planes or different realms without being invited there or having a plan of action. It is incredibly dangerous. They have monsters there like we've never seen before, and they have different laws to their universe that we do not have to abide by, that sometimes they do. So, yeah.
This whole idea sounds faithfully horrible. Like
It
from
is, but if you
fantasy-
need to get to the abyss, I mean, if you know of a different... Those are the two closest planes to ours to get there.
Right.
The way we have right now is through the Shadowfell. We just don't know where the portal in the Shadowfell is.
Oh, you can get to the Shadowfell.
Well, it's my
Yes.
faith's location, so yes. I'm a member of the Church of Ravens.
We don't need to elaborate on all.
I
details.
was unaware of that. Well, if you're a member, can't you ask the Queen of Ravens for assistance? If you
Yes,
go
we
there
could.
directly, can't you just speak to her? I mean, I don't have
Yes.
any in-depth maps of the Shadowfell, but I believe I have something.
I have a map
Yes.
to her estate. We could go to it. I was given it mentally through Lady Teresa. So that should. It was just closer to run to the ferryman.
Okay. I'm sorry to interject here, but I don't think we
Yeah.
need to elaborate towards Reggie with all of this. But when we get there, how will we know how to get to the next plane, like the abyss? Like, how do we do this plane stepping?
Fortrum.
Shifting. Uh-huh.
If I wanted to get into, say, the deepest mining deposit in Uthadon, how would I get there?
Well, when you say deepest, are you talking about the one that's
Let's go with the
physically
one that
the
physically can be
longest?
inhabited.
okay? Because I know of one that. Well, anyway,
That is exactly my point.
you walk down
You talk
Right.
to the natives.
you walk down the cave for a long time.
You talk to somebody who is an authority on it.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
So we
These-
ask.
You can either try to speak to the Queen of Ravens directly. I don't know how her religion works. I've only met one freak show that was associated with her. No offense.
Right here. Don't like.
What?
Oh.
No. I'm excluding present company. It's a
Okay, sorry.
very tall, lanky person. Their name was like Tiffany or some shit like that. It was ridiculous. It just creeped me out with how they
Wait, is that the guy that we met in Trusted?
Yes. That is the guy we met
Yeah.
at the cemetery.
Yeah, and he's in charge of that graveyard.
Oh, now he's at the graveyard in Nicodranus, but
Yep.
he used to be in Trustenwald.
Yep.
Oh, I know that guy.
He had to relocate because his life was in danger.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Well,
Oh.
see, if you can get in contact with her, but if you can't, then the people are there just are presumably just like other people, just dead, right?
Yeah.
And depending on how they feel about being dead, either they would be welcoming to the fact that you are a man of the cloth that oversees their realm, or they would be begrudging and upset that you are that. So, I guess that's a risk you'll have to take.
Yeah, it is a risk where I have a means of barter.
Potentially, or means of getting into an immediate fight.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Wow.
I mean,
It's going to be the safer option that, well,
My whole paradigm of what the afterlife is like.
it's not the afterlife for everyone.
well, that is the crossroads to where you need to
Yes.
go. When you die, if your soul is not positive where it needs to be and hasn't deserved to go where it needs to be, then it spends time there before transitioning. Is
The
that
Shadowfell.
the shadow?
That's what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the abyss, and I was sort of like, wait, the abyss
No,
is
no, no, no.
walking around. Earlier, it was the fighting place between the devils and the demons, and
Well, that's if you want to get there from there. If you want to get there from the Shadowfell, it's completely different, right? You need to go through the proper channels, I suppose. I mean, I know they have a connection because some people who die, that is where they belong. That is where they need to be.
It's where one day I hope to be.
I think he's talking about. Am I tracking this conversation all wrong? 'Cause
Not
I
the
think we were
abyss. No,
talking
no,
about hell.
you do not want to go to the abyss.
Oh,
Okay.
God, no.
No,
Right,
I
okay.
mean, some people, when they die, they deserve to go to the heavens, or they deserve to stay in the Shadowfell, or they need to go to hell to pay a contract. And some people who are exceptionally fucked up and evil are sent to the abyss.
Got it. Okay. So am I wrong in just assuming that the Shadowfell is like an intermittent place on the way to a final destination?
Yes.
Right? That's what we're okay.
Yeah.
It is
that's
where the ferryman takes you up the river.
No,
Styx.
the ferryman of the River Styx is inside of the hell. Well, at the border of the hells and the abyss. Yeah. The ferryman is in the hells. He's not in... He has zero association with the Queen of Ravens.
I used him to get out of the.
Yes,
Shut
when
up.
you were in the Nyx. River Styx.
Well, no. When I was in the Shadowfell.
No, there was a different means of getting out. But yeah, whatever. It's good.
All right. In any case, let's get refocused again. That's great. It's good to know all of this. I feel like when we're ready to step across to wherever we're going, we now know we can summon our devil. What is the Baylor
Devil.
thingy?
Devil, do not call them demon.
Whatever. Why? Because we got to get on its good side?
If you want to know... Do none of you understand the...
I do.
Okay. It's... If you want to get information, it is easier to catch a fly with honey than it is vinegar. When
Yeah.
you have the upper hand, fucking slap them around, who cares? But you do not have the upper hand when you're dealing with a devil, per se.
And you got to watch your wording, too.
Very careful on that. If they ask you for a deal, you do not agree to anything without very specific words, possibly even written down.
I think our safest bet would be to go through the Shadowfell. Our
Okay.
quickest way would be through the Baylor, but
Well, we're not going any of those ways yet. So
correct.
step one, let's go find the
I cast
twins, the
Scry.
deuces.
on the chunk of flesh and the blood that we have, I guess.
Yep. Let's see if we can scry them. We've got blood, Reggie, and things, so we're going to try and scry it and see if we can find a location of them. I don't know if it's going to work.
And yes, my focus is more than 1,000 gold worth.
I was going to say, look at that beautiful vase and that beautiful pot bowl right there. Let's just fill that sucker with water and use it.
It's a replica. It's made of glass.
That?
Over there? Yeah.
Fordham feels slighted that he didn't know that, so... Huh. Replica. I go over and I
break it and
have
make
to
it
look
feel
underneath.
better.
Yeah, you like lift and you're like, holy fuck, that's not clay. That's
Wow.
Made in a different city.
made
It's
in
original.
Marquette. What the fuck? Just
Holy shit.
anyways.
All right.
Yeah. Reggie has more skills than blowing shit up in magic.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever got to the
Well,
side
so
of him
do
where he
I.
knows how to do things. Yeah, you're a druid, Braska. But anyways, you're casting scrying.
So I have heard of the target. I have a body part.
So they have a
never s-
-10.
Yeah.
Wait, where's all the pluses? Oh, plus first hand.
Yeah. I've only. I'm second hand, so it's +5. You have
Okay,
heard
so
of the
it comes
target.
out to a -5.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm doing this as a GM role. You can fact check me on the stream if you really desire. Okay. You cast your spell at your desired individual. And for a few moments, you see absolutely nothing. Until you realize there's breathing in front of you. Then you watch as a match is struck, igniting upwards, and you see the face of a very chiseled chin and pale but rough-looking individual currently lighting up a rolled cigarette. As they ignite it and flick, they toss the little match to the side and begin puffing, where you see the glow on their face and just a little bit of stone next to their head. Roll me a perception check to see if you notice anything else about the individual. It's very dark where they're at, so disadvantage. Yes, you have dark vision.
Yeah, I have dark vision. Does that matter or no?
No, it's just disadvantage still. You have opportunity, because else it's pitch black. Like,
And then I'll roll with my game inspiration.
go for it.
Just make it a straight roll.
Can we also look in? Oh, nice.
That is really good. Yeah, you guys can look in the cauldron that he's currently brewing over.
Yeah. I'll try and identify the stone.
Use your stone's cunning. Wisdom with advantage. So that's a survival check with advantage.
Okay. Cool.
Dwarves have stone cunning. You know stones.
I know, I just never remember if it's advantage or I mean, survival or what. So, oh, nice.
So I'll answer your question first, Fordrum, as you're looking over his shoulder. This is a crushed stone. which is commonly used for stormwater outfall areas, septic or sewer projects, slope protections, graveled roads, but it's next to his head, so it has to be a wall of this.
Yeah.
What you notice, Sinclair, through the scrying, is there's moisture connected to the wall beside him, and there's a slight look of disgust on his face that's just ever so present. Like, disdain is on his face.
And he's not happy wherever he's at.
That kind of
He's
stone is
frequently
used,
covering his nose.
that kind of stone is used for like septic and like weird stuff, like, you know, waters that need to be able to move and things like that. It's really easy to make. It's not a lot of actual rock, and you can
Right.
cover a large area with it.
Well, he must not be near the deposit because there'd be too much methane around there.
Huh?
Your character doesn't know alchemy.
I learned a lot about how to make things burn.
Yeah, but that's alchemy shit. Like,
It's
Method.
full on science.
yeah, that's full science. Shit stinks. That's what you know.
I don't think I can hex him from through the.
He has to be
scrying
within
orb.
physical distance, not
Okay.
visual distance.
Would my blind sense work through the scrying orb or
No, it would not.
Okay.
However, while your scrying is going on, he's just puffing his cigarette. He turns and looks over his shoulder. Do either of you speak Zemnian?
I speak all languages.
You speak or do
No.
you read all languages?
Tongues.
Oh, you're casting tongues on yourself?
Yeah, if it's a language that I don't understand immediately, I always cast tongues.
Okay, well, you hear the voice that he's looking past the orb, feminine voice speaking Zemnian, and then you cast your spell.
I can read all written and runes.
And then you hear him saying, "No, I was not aware of that." Huh. Oh well. Hey,
Doesn't
did you get
Braska
me?
speak Semdian?
Kind of. He canonically, kind of understands Zemnian.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought he spoke it because he was from the Empire.
He is, but he's also not educated from the Empire. He's just, that's where he grew up, you know? Did you get me the baguette that I wanted? And you watch as a loaf of bread is handed past the orb over to him, and there's a lantern glow that illuminates him a lot more. You see that he has quite a few of scar marks across his outfit, and clear-cut wounds across his chest as he begins biting into the loaf, enjoying it. Well, I can't say that I'm surprised at all. I'll tell you what.
Braska? Where's that bag of bread from?
History check, Braska. And it's a baguette. It's just a long loaf of bread. 9. You don't know, but you are dedicated to find out. That looks like a good baguette. Well, I suppose we still have a little bit more time before we have to make ourselves aware. So, you eat that, and why don't you heal up those fucking wounds? Well, if I'm completely honest with you, sister, sometimes it's nice just feeling the pain. You're a fucking idiot.
Looks like they've been in a fight recently. The guy is all covered in scars and everything, bleeding. His sister just called him an idiot because he won't heal up. So he has some means of healing himself. So we learned that.
Well, we are going to find a new location. This one is compromised. And then your scrying orb vanishes.
Yep. I think the first thing she said when she came down there was, "Did you know there's an orb above you?" Because they just snuffed out my orb.
Those are usually invisible.
Which means she can see invisibility.
Scheisse.
That's about how paranoid she is. She could keep that prepared.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys waited for me to wake up before you did the scrying.
Yeah.
Sure.
We did.
All right. So you guys wasted another 8 hours so Argon can rest?
No, one.
Oh, just one to attune?
Yeah.
And you took
One
a
to
power nap?
attune and then one for the sleep in it.
All
I
right.
just can't use it again for a week.
Yeah.
No, you just can't unequip it for a week.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. Okay.
You're stuck wearing this robe for a week and attuned to it.
That's fine. I'm just going to
Unless
throw
you do,
mine over the
break
robe.
and shit.
I'm just going to throw my robes over
robes
the
on
other
robes
robes.
on robes.
Yep.
Okay. The weird part is your robe keeps falling off of one shoulder. The other robe just constantly shrugs the shoulder off.
Well,
So obviously right now they're in some sort of storm
Sewage.
tunnel sewage thing.
Do you know any spell to locate something you've seen or someone you've seen, Argon?
locate creature?
Yeah.
I have it, and I have it prepared. It's 1,000 feet. So we'd have to get somewhat close.
Is there
How
any...
fast can you go, Argon?
Depends on if we're in a cloud form.
Normal speed of,
Yeah.
I mean, I could go normal speed. I could fly and go 60. It would be about as fast as I could do.
While you have locate creature up.
Does that require concentration? It does. So no, I could not do that.
I could carry you and go slightly faster.
What if we turn into clouds again?
That would require a person who is currently guarding the estate.
Right.
Yeah.
Which we're currently in.
Write
Yeah,
him off
but
right
they're
now.
not-
We
they're
don't know what
not here,
spells he's
Sinclair.
preparing, so we're
Mm.
not using any of his shit until he can decide what
Okay.
he what he's
I
prepared.
could run through the town on a horse really fast for a while.
Give me your moat.
Oh wait, I
Argon.
didn't prepare it. Never mind. No, I can't do that.
Give me a moat, and I'll cast it on you. I'll hold the concentration.
Oh yeah.
No, locate creature is range self. Oh, I can give you fly.
Yes.
You can cast fly.
Yeah,
on
you
me.
give him fly, and then he
or
casts
haste.
fly on you. Well, I was going to recommend I can give you haste.
So you would be hasted and you'd be flying.
Or
Well-
you could haste me and I carry you and it's faster than that.
I can locate the creature also, but I am the slowest of all of us.
So Broska, you take Fordrum that way. Arkin, you're gonna fly that way.
I'll speed up Argon. Fordrum, are you comfortable being carried by Broska?
Yeah.
Okay.
Besides, I'm pretty heavy compared to everyone else. So.
All right. So before we go, the first thing I have to do is do ascending.
Mhm.
See how this gets response. I am doing an actual sending, not a
Paper.
thing, not a paper, just in case she decides she actually wants to talk to me this time. So she's refused any other communication up until this point.
All right. So Trent is coming for you today. Ooh.
we'll see how mad she is at me. I'm guessing a lot.
Is when your partner's taking a break from an argument.
When your partner's taking a break from an argument.
Fucking phone.
So, she will reply to you, Argan, a little more than a little annoyed. What do you think I've been trying to get him to do this whole time? Brightblades have permission to pass. I'm staying.
Yeah, I knew she'd give me that answer, but
Then she'll send a sending back to you. Tell Thunderbrand to send the 3 horses. Argan, history check.
I'm gonna use one of my advantages, one of my game advantages, not the really nice one that I got. I'm saving that one.
Guidance.
I forgot to throw.
Well, advantage would give you a straight roll because you haven't completed a long rest yet.
I did complete a long rest. I just did. Remember?
I thought you
'Cause I
said,
used
oh,
the-
the robe gave it
we
to
used
you.
the robe.
Okay, yeah, I apologize. I apologize.
So I will now roll it one more time with Fortrum's guidance that he screamed out. Oh, that didn't. No. Well, so +1 to my original 16, so 17.
17. The 3 horses are known as the 3 archmages, the professors, or sorry, not professors, the archmage of conjuration, the archmage of evocation, and the archmage of transmutation. They are the 3 most skilled combatants in the forms of arcane practices and arts in all of the Lyceum's graduated history.
None of them can kill Trent because he's immortal, while the Flackers exist.
I'm sending this to Firebrand. I'm not waiting until we get there. I'm sending it now.
Okay.
You're not going to reply to your mom?
I will just say, of course, is the only reply I'm sending to Mother.
Fucking hell. She's a fucking stupid bitch. Gotta respect the bulls. Alright. Anything else?
I'm going to leave silent as my ascent. Oh, God, I didn't mention. God damn it, now I got to burn another one. Because I forgot.
Yeah.
Can you please pick up the right blades from Witherdern and protect them?
No, I'm hoping we will still get there today. Or right after this.
Very well. We'll permit them in. They just gotta be teleported over. Do I need to send a mage to teleport them? Or can you do it?
Burning through everything I freaking got here doing sendings.
I mean, you could always just write on a piece of paper, I'll do it, and then...
Yeah, I'm just going to write on a piece of paper. I'm going to have to buy paper when we get to the Lyceum.
So, while you all prepare yourselves a little bit more mentally. Reggie has been pacing back and forth between your hut or your
The hut would be gone
mansion, yeah, and the estate. Well, this is a tense situation. Ogden,
by now. Reggie,
you do not wish for your mother to die, correct?
I do not. That would be a correct assumption.
So, I will go down there, and push comes to shove, I will teleport her out. With your permission, of course. Lady Vexalia said I am supposed to assist you.
I thank you for that. I do not envy you if you do that, but I appreciate it.
She's not a nice woman. I mean, not like Trent and things like that, but
hopefully
she'll be mad.
An angry living mother is worth more than a dead
Just
mother.
push all blame. If you have to do it, push all blame to me.
Oh, of course I was playing that already.
I assumed. I have one last question for you, Reggie, only because you know the two better than anybody the rest.
Yeah.
I have one idea that might counter what they're capable of doing. As much as I hate to do it because it's a counter to myself. I have anti-magic shell.
I always thought that spell was theoretical. It's real?
It's real. And I think the problem is the way it works, it has to be centered on me. So I'm basically defenseless when it's up. But my hope is if I can put it up near her, Braska could beat her to death.
Before she kills you.
And if she dies inside the shell, it will not feed back to her links.
I do not know if it works like that. I believe this could work on the brother. In theory, it sounds right. I mean, I don't know if it'll work on. I don't
know either. I mean, it
everything
suppresses just about everything but the direct link to a deity. The problem is there's a chance that what they have is theoretically a direct link to a deity. But we don't know the exact level of it. What, Braska?
If it does affect the brother, is there a chance that holding him ransom would get her to drop whatever spell she is to holding onto that link stuff? Or
well, if we kill him, we can still try and knock her unconscious instead of kill her, and then break the spell another way.
Would that affect me and Fordrum?
Yes, it affects everything within the 10-foot circle. It will even take all of your weapons offline. Anything that is not an artifact level of power.
Oh, cool.
Fine.
So my mask would still be working.
My sword, for some reason.
Hammers work in all situations.
I'm assuming that Braska...
she is particularly well trained in the arts of combat as well.
Hence the Braska beat her down.
I am fully aware, but the only issue with your plan is if magic gets turned back on because of her sole focus on you. You say you have to be close. How close?
10 feet.
Shies. That is against every rule of engagement I've ever been taught as a mage.
I am quite aware of that. It's the only thing I got that I know of that I can think will be powerful enough to stop what they can do.
That is your gamble.
Me and Fordrum make for a pretty good wall, though.
Mm.
And me and Fordrum are immune to fire, so if we deal fire, it won't hurt us in return.
The other option, which is more of a risk to Zurazar's father, is I could basically do the same thing to her and her brother that she does to other people. I can tie them together so that if any one of them takes damage, is hurt, the other one is hurt as well. It's very similar to what she does.
Oof.
That's how I could tell what she did. It is a power I have never used, but I do know it.
Would banishing her temporarily to take her out of the fight temporarily work too?
Banishment spells are fickle spells. They're better against extraplanar creatures. However, for those of us trained in arcane arts at all, we usually have mental resilience greater than almost anybody, including clergy. It is a risky play, but if it can succeed, it may be fruitful for you. And this is working off of the assumption any of your spells resolve.
Yeah, and if she uses necromancy magic against me, I have some protection at least.
You need it.
I can ignore it. Not indefinitely, but to an extent.
You'll certainly need it. She is second only to Trent himself when it comes to spellcraft.
And that's who I was planning on using the scarab for.
So, is there any other ideas, questions?
This is the best I've got.
Well,
Earlier we had a question. If I were to hold him down and let someone else hit him after he marked me, would I take that damage from someone else hitting him, or is that just only if I hit him?
oh, if other people hit him as well.
Ah, damn it.
No, Brosser, you know I can't kill you outright.
That's true. But it doesn't really help much if it doesn't do anything to him.
So if I suppress him, we can drop him and then
Go after her.
go after her. Because at least if her main ability is spellcasting, if I put that up, anybody within 10 feet of me is going to be perfectly safe from her. Because her spells won't be able to get through it. It'll just be a question of how dangerous he is at that point. But I have my faith in Broska, Sinclair, and Fordrum to be able to beat one guy to death fairly quickly.
Yeah. I hope so.
I'll burn everything I can to ensure it.
Well, I hope you all get out of this alive at minimum.
That might be my favorite quote of yours, Reggie. I think I've heard it. I think I've heard it like 3 or 4 times at this point. So,
Joey, can I concentrate on a spell while short resting?
No, resting is not concentrating.
Okay. I knew you could take watch and things like that. I just didn't
Yeah,
know.
that's not resting, though. Watch is like you're actively doing something during that period of time. Well, again, is there something I can tell your mother so she will trust me other than the fact that I say I work for Lady Whitestone?
Did my family ever have code phrases?
That's for you to tell me. It's your family, dude.
You could always tell him, your son says you're an idiot.
No, you think Argan
No.
would ever say that to his mother? That's almost as bad as if Fortune said that to his mother.
Reggie, do you have catnap by chance?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Let me think of. I'm trying to think of what the word would be.
Banana split.
No, I immediately went to the default of pineapple, but
Different word, and that's for your
Yeah.
parents exclusively.
Yeah.
Actually, your father exclusively.
Yeah, my father exclusively. The code. Tell her watchdog. That is a family phrase. It.
Watchdog, really.
Yes, it designates that there is personal danger and that the person is there to assist.
Very well.
It will at least let you stay close to her. Now, what happens after, if you have to do something, well, that I don't only go that far.
There's no chance we have time for me to copy down that anti-magic spell of yours. Shit.
I'm afraid not.
No, that isn't. All right.
I wish there was, because I don't have any spells, but I will make do.
I'm sorry. Well, I'll do what I can to get her out of there. Push comes to shove.
She's gonna have support, so if he tries it, it's gonna be ugly one way or the other.
Maybe they can cage him.
I'm hoping that they can at least send it back to have to rebuild.
Well, what the fuck are the horses, anyways?
3 of the archmages of the Lyceum.
The Lyceum doesn't even train its archmages in the way of combat, right?
Some do.
Really?
Thunderbrand is combat.
Really? I thought he was just aggressive and punchy.
He is not one of the horsemen or one of the horses.
He's just acting headmaster.
Yes, he will not be one of the ones attending. Even we, as much as we don't advertise it, at certain levels, combat is taught.
All right. Then maybe they have a fighting chance at accomplishing something. Regardless, this is my time to leave. Best of luck to all of you in your endeavors. Auf Wiedersehen.
Before he goes, I'm going to tell him to wait 10 minutes. I'm going to ritually cast telepathic bond on all of us, including Reggie, because it is unlimited range once it's cast.
All right, all right.
And that way he's aware of what happens here, and we will be aware of what happens there, at least through Reggie's eyes.
Shit, all right.
That definitely helps, because I'm going to be sitting here keeping you flying.
Yeah, so you will then know, we will all be able to communicate with if we find somebody where we're at. So that was the main reason for it. It's just since Reggie's going where he is, I figured I'd add him to it.
This is very strange. I have no experience with support magics at all.
You're going to have a ton of fun of an hour of Sinclair in your head.
Fucking hell. Broska, stop thinking about the big gays.
You know, just mentioning it's not going to help anything. I'm just going to point that out.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty. And he will teleport himself down there.
After casting haste, right?
Yeah, he'll give you a quick haste and then start teleporting.
Then I give Sinclair fly. Sinclair, it's 4th level because I'm out of 3rd level spells. I used them all on sending, which means you could do you and me. So you'll be able to get to us faster. Is really my point.
All right, I'll have your chair.
Yeah, we're gonna just leave the chair here. I'm not taking it with us because it'll slow me down.
Ooh.
So Argon.
You don't want me to push it outside?
Well, it's going to be in the Zurazar's house with Zurazar and Capriccio.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty fair.
In the mansion.
Yeah, that's pretty safe.
I'm sure I'm going to come back to find Zurazar lounging in it.
Guaranteed.
Zurazar, no, Capriccio.
Or Capriccio. Yeah, Capriccio.
That is 100% a Capriccio.
And now at some point, I'm going to figure out that my toe
I found out
is
how to
hidden
do
in
wheelies.
there. And I didn't know. Yeah.
Oh, what do you think I did the entire time I was at the base of the tree? I was lounging in your chair.
I know.
Everyone wants this spot in the chair.
And then locate creature, which also lasts an hour.
Oh, okay.
And then we start doing grid patterns.
Alrighty. Well then, guys. Now's the fun little challenge part. Alrighty. Broska, I need you to roll an athletics check since you are carrying Forgem across this city.
All right.
At Mock Broska.
28.
And yes, Ruka, it would be a lot easier on all of them if they had a character with a dash speed of 260 feet.
Stupid monks.
Really stupid monk. So, Broska, there's something inside of you that sparks from your childhood. The 1 year you attended school and they put you on the track team. Now, you were pretty bored until they told you that winner 1 year is going to be given all they can eat at the mess hall for the entire rest of the week. And that one moment of motivation, you lapped everybody in that class, and not a single person could remotely stand up to you. You draw upon that memory of yourself. You have Forgem hiked up on your back. And Forgem, you see him like a prize racehorse flex all of his muscles before doosh, taking off running. Holding onto the reins of his hair. I would like you, Forgem, to give me a survival check to go as far and trace as many places in your half of the city that you are trying to achieve. Argan, I need you to roll me a survival check as well. Both of you are being assisted.
Oh.
Yep, so you both have advantage.
Nice.
You do not have guidance, Argan?
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know. I forgot to unclick that.
20 and 21. You both have your spells up as best as you can, trying to trace around the city as much as you can. Argan, the 1 minute that passes, you take advantage as much as you possibly can, staying as high up in elevation as you can still sense within the ground itself, and trying to go to every location around you in the high top district. I'm going to say with these rolls, both of you get to successfully check one entire district before you run out of spell slot.
Fly cast for 10 minutes. Not one.
Huh?
Fly lasts for 10 minutes, not one. Locate creature lasts for an hour.
Haste lasts for 1 minute, and then you have...
Oh, yeah. So Forge... Oh, did he haste both of us then?
Yeah.
I thought he was just hasting
Oh,
Broska.
fuck no. He'll haste both of you.
Oh, okay.
That's the last high-level spell slot he's using before he has to go potentially fight Trent. So, which district were you guys going to be in charge of? I'd give both of you one district each to be investigating. And that can be the Promenade, the Quarters, Military District, Temple District, Cemetery District, Cloudtop District, Ports of Iman, and then everything else is kind of like, these aren't part of the city where they would have sewage and shit. What were you asking, Sinclair?
I want to find, because I'm out on the street, I want to find a guard and using prestidigitation, show him a mini image of the baguette and go, where can I find a baguette like this? I have been craving it. Someone told me about it.
Roll me persuasion. Sinclair's doing his own investigation.
Forger, you can choose first. Jeez.
Forger?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were going to resolve Sinclair. My bad.
No, we're resolving you guys first, because he's going to be asking multiple guards trying to find his way there.
Got it. Based on a lot of assumptions,
I sort of think that places like the cemetery smell, and I think that the Cloud District is where the richest of rich people live. I'd like to try the sort of north end of the Central District. Kind of.
Well, you can do
down-
the entire Central District.
Okay, so
That's what
then
I'm
the
saying.
Central-
Both of you can cover one entire district
I
within
think
the
the
day.
Central District looks like it probably would be where there'd be lots of runoff, and it's kind of close to where they needed to get to. So, Central.
Okay. So you go there and head east and south. I'm going to head north and work my way
Okay.
east. I'm going to start in the cemetery district.
All right. Argon Cemetery District. Okay. Now, this is completely random what you guys have chosen to see if you actually successfully find them. However, you are going so incredibly quickly that this first round of casting allows the two of you to navigate through these districts efficiently enough to cover them within just one casting of that spell for each of you. Okay?
Okay.
So, I know where they are, obviously.
I would hope so.
You go through the entirety of the cemetery district. Nothing. Argon.
Okay.
You go through the entirety of the central district. Fordrum.
Mhm.
Nothing. Sinclair, you travel around the Cloudtop district, and while asking around for anybody who knows where this baguette comes from, you find one person who says, and this is a servant who lags behind after the nobles who kind of scoff at you as they keep moving through. Sir, I think I know.
A lot of platinum.
Yeah, I know. In the port, by the docks, there's a small shop that sells a lot of homemade fresh goods and bread, mostly for the urchins that live out there. They accept trade of fish for the bread for people who do that. It's over there.
I send telepathically to Fordrum and Argon. I got word that the bread may be found in the port of Amon, which is to the west of Cloud Top District. One of the servants of a noble house told me about it, and I pay the lady the platinum.
Thank you. And they hurry up to... Excuse me, you are not carrying my bags. Keep up. Yup. So the
All right,
two of
let's
you get that
rendezvous.
after your investigation? Sport?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's rendezvous there. I sort of steer Braska without really steering him. Just
Now go
pretending.
ahead.
Grab the mirrors and
That's why he's got them shoulder pads, so you can tug on one side and make his
Just
arm go that
Freak
way.
the mighty moment right here.
That's how I know you want to go that way.
Got it.
I will also take off for the port.
Alrighty. So, Argon, if you're beelining it to the port, you would arrive there on this side, assuming you would fly again to bridge
Yes.
over that area, because there is no dock from, the cemetery district over there. Fordrum, you have to go through the proper customs. They have this little fenced and gated off location that has this magical sensory around it as people are shipping goods and coming everything to and from the port itself. You slow down a little bit before entering in. Argon, would you like to cast your spell again and try to do it again?
Guess which spell?
Locate
Oh,
creature.
locate creature? Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Fordrum, would you like to
Yep.
cast yours again?
Yes,
All right.
I would.
Survival checks on both of you.
Are we still being assisted?
Fordrum is because Braska Sinclair left you to go talk
Okay.
and ask around, so no.
Then I will use recap advantage.
All right. Nice.
Ooh,
In one.
And
Can I guidance him even though because we've got mind control? I'm kidding.
No, that's not how
So-
that works.
Fly is no longer on Argon, correct?
That is correct.
is.
No,
I'm
that
going
only
to-
lasts an hour.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
It's all a bass.
And also, you're nowhere near him either, because you were
Yeah.
getting in there the mundane way. So if anything, you'd be near Fordrum and Braska. But keep in mind, telepathic bond, y'all can just communicate.
I'm just gonna sit on a park bench and get my hour rest.
You mean the docks?
Yeah.
There's not really
Wherever I can
parks
find
in
a
the
chair.
port. Yeah,
Well,
they have
no,
docks
here in
in-
Cloud Top.
Oh,
'cause
you're
I'm
staying
still
in the Cloud Top.
Like near the port. I want to be near the wall so I can go through customs.
I think
But I
that's
wanna try
all
to get my hour
Rocky
rest.
Mountain behind it, though.
Yeah. So Cloud Top District is the Noble District, and then this is Castle Tal'Dorei. You're not welcome there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was part of Cloud Top. I did not know that.
Technically, but it takes up like 80% of all of Cloud Top.
Is there a road in Cloud Top that leads to the port? that what this is?
No, only the Central District leads down there. There's a pathway through the privates, through the private access of the Castle of Tal'Dorei, but that's only preserved for the people who live there, the noble family of the Tal'Dorei. So you can go down from the Cloud Top District over through the Central District and get in there like that, and then
Could I
rest
get-
up. It's
could
going
I
to take
u-
them like hours to investigate this area.
Oh, I was just gonna say, could I not use the emissary documents to get access to walk through?
You can roll me a persuasion and see if that works.
Okay, I'll try that, and if it doesn't work, then
Just
I'll
go up to the guard. Multipass.
multi-pass. I work for the Lady of Whitestone. I just need to get to the port to check on some stuff. So persuasion 28.
The guards who are positioned there look at the paperwork, read through it. The one whispers to the other, "We're not supposed to let anybody through here under any circumstances." I know, but he works for the Lady of Whitestone, and you heard about the messages they received. Are you working on...
Yes.
I will personally escort him. If anything happens, you'll be fully alerted, and then you can call in the special guns. Fine. I'll escort you.
Thank you.
And you will walk directly beside him the entire way as you go through the most incredibly gorgeous mountainous landscape with these nice little plotted lands of little trees and shrubbery and gardens that they have. It's so beautiful they have up here, and nobody seems to be up here.
I can see why y'all keep the general public out of here. Don't want anyone trashing the place.
You get all the way down over towards the port, and they allow you in, where there you can take your short rest.
Yes.
So, Argon, even though you were in the port early, you end up getting a lot of people attempting to stop you and talk to you as your regalia shows that you are somebody of importance. And there's quite a few people who want to set up trades with you, and it's just exhausting you trying to get through everything. Forgem, starting in the lower district, you make it only around a quarter of the way through the port, zigzagging back and forth on top of Braska, before eventually you get a ping.
Oh. I start looking for that kind of stone in the direction of the ping.
So,
And I go, and I broadcast, I got a ping. We're near this. And I start reading off the name of signs
mhm.
in the building and start to try and steer Braska over there to the right.
So, not very far away from that bakery shop, Sinclair, where I assume is where you'll be resting up so you can buy your own baguette. It does take roughly an hour or so you do get your short rest in, Sinclair, for everybody to arrive. And Fordrum, you are tracking down the last 1,000 feet or so. As you are approaching closer, you sense that it goes down beneath your feet, wherever he is. So you keep traveling, and eventually come over towards what appears to be a well. When you look down there, there's no water, and there's a sign on it that says, "Out of service, blown wall, do not drink."
I think they're down here.
But it says it's out of service.
Yep. Well, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they don't follow those rules. Prospect.
It's just because there's no water down below. But I think that this is the path to wherever they are hiding out.
All right. So we doing this, or
Is everybody here? All four of us?
All four of you, yeah. Sinclair was only about a block away from this area buying his baguette.
Yeah. Do you want me to go first? You want
is
to
there
lower
a door
me?
to kick down?
Huh?
Is there a door to kick down?
No.
Fine.
It's this hole. We're looking down a well.
Oh,
You gotta lower me down.
all right. I
climb
suppose
down.
we could do that. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Here.
So,
Rope.
as you're all together at this well that Fordrum has located, thanks to the locate creature spell, where you are getting very close to where they are, one of the guards approaches. "Excuse me, this is out of service."
We're here on official business
To fix the well.
about the thing.
The thing. I need you to roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage because Proska.
No, the guard at the estate said, if need be, they'll bring in the big guns. That thing.
I'm sorry? I have no idea what you are referring to, sirs. Do you have any official documentation? Or
Yes, I show him the documentation that shows that I'm an emissary.
Ah, you have a
on
multi-pass. Very well.
Yes.
He hands it back to you.
Good day. Good luck
We're
with
working
the
on the thing. So,
Sure.
Vanguard,
You don't command me. And he just walks away.
that's the
You have a
quickest way to
feeling that
do
the
it.
common guard don't know what's going on, but the personal royal guard to the Tal'Dorei Republic's royal family knows what's going on.
Okay. It's the quickest way to get him to go away.
Yeah.
Was try to tell him to do something, and he's like, I don't know you.
All right. So I'm lowering Fordrum in.
Okay. So, Fordrum, you were lowered down and down and down. And one thing you can say about Uthadern, because it's so cold, shit don't stink nearly as bad.
Yep.
This is atrociously stenchy. The waft of sewage, and you see the blown wall itself.
Yeah.
The waft of sewage filtering in and filling down into this little tunnel is incredibly disgusting. In fact, by the time you get down here, you see that there's a goblin right now that has a clothespin over their nose with a couple of masonry tools who looks over at you guys. Are you guys here to help me?
We're looking for two other people who are sneaking and hiding down here out that way. And I point in a different direction.
Ain't nobody sneaking or hiding down here. Shit smells horrible.
I know. But yes.
Yes, you're here to help me?
No.
Yes, there are people we're going to see. And then as I get out of the way and sort of figure out which way my ping is directing and follow it.
Hey,
a little bit.
hey, Mason Union only.
Oh, fuck that. Then I show him my Master Crafter's card.
Oh, I fucking asked you if you were supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't do masonry. But
What the fuck?
He's here to check the pipes.
deception on that one, Sinclair.
That's fine.
Yeah. Poor Goblin's just doing his job. Oh. Yeah, I guess. All those fancy pipes from the cloud top to come down here. I'm telling you, I wish they'd smell their own fucking stank, you know? That's probably most of the stank.
Yeah.
Telling you.
All
that
eating
protein.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No one asked for my multi-pass. It's a fist. All right.
That would have been what had happened if I failed the deception, Roscoe. Let's be
Most
honest.
probable of multi-passes. Let me see your... That's my permission. Just an indent on the wall of a fucking goblin.
You can't ask if I'm allowed to be here if you're unconscious.
That's true. Anyways. You all are allowed to pass through. All right, I'm going to go take my union mandatory hour-long break. I'll see you guys later.
Yep.
All right. So, Fordrum.
Yep.
Now that you're in the sewer, you look back and forth. There's the road that leads up ahead, the pathway with the blown wall that you can see the sewer is like starting to filter through. It's strange. The stone near you, it exploded from this side inwards. So from the well itself into the sewage.
Right. Yeah. So someone hopped down here, blew a hole, and continued that way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where the beacon is leading us?
It is.
Yes. I'm betting that this sewage followed far enough leads probably north right up into the cloud district eventually.
Oh, the goblin just told you that. They have the pipes that filter from there to come all the way here. Fucking assholes.
Right.
Dropping their shit off over here.
The rankest of shit is going to be cloud top. So if it gets really foul, it's probably from there.
All right.
Thought they were full of it, but apparently not.
So we start to follow it.
Alrighty.
Them
This
zero
probably
carb
smell
diet.
worse before it gets better.
So, passing by into the sewage itself. You first have to venture over the piles of fecal and matter that have been dumped down into their sewage, going over top and climbing and trying to stick as close to the walls as possible. As all of you are getting through this, I need you all to give me con saving throws, as none of y'all have the urchin background, which would allow you to get away with this.
Would being part undead help?
You can still smell?
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if Hollow One did anything.
I've spent my time with spell components.
Does it help me at all that I too am absolutely disgusting?
Not this disgusting, Braska.
Fair.
You bathed once.
Once.
All right.
That we can recall.
Fordrum,
Uh-huh.
you being so close to it in height.
Yeah. After I get sick from this, I will be flying over these moments going forward.
Yeah, you do absolutely get sick from this. And just release whatever breakfast that magnificent mansion had provided for you.
Waffles and chicken.
Everyone else, you manage to stomach it as best as you can. Argon, you know it's actually not better to breathe through your mouth, so you don't. Just don't breathe and move through.
Just keep moving. Just keep moving.
You break past where everything seems to be congregating here over to the actual sewage line itself. You see a rush of water that's moving deceptively quickly that you would be aware of, everybody. Downstream into a different location. However, Fordrum, the location you are looking for would be more upstream. However, there is no walkways or path, meaning you're either going to have to battle up the water stream itself or find a way to fly or crawl up the walls or something. What?
Dwarf tossing.
I think it's up that way. I can fly it. I can take a rope. We can climb. You can climb up behind me. It's gonna get pretty gross. Okay, here I go.
All right.
Then I
I mean, if it's getting gross, it's getting gross, dude.
take the rope. Fly on up.
Someone will have to knot off a second rope 100 feet and then a third rope 150 feet before eventually you find a sturdy enough pipe that has a small landing platform underneath it that you can tie it off to and allow them to get over to before you'll have to do this again.
Got it.
So, I need athletics check from all of you to climb the rope to get over there. Good, good.
Yeah, that's not gonna work well for me.
We're gonna try. 10's not horrible. It's only 150 feet. So, there's a couple of times as you are shimmying up the rope, and all of you know the smart way to do this. It's to dangle down like you're a sloth, hand over hand, foot over foot, to get to the other side. As you are climbing up this stream, Sinclair, there's only one moment where you slip your grip on your feet, and it slams down into the sewage, but then you slip back up very quickly, and then keep going higher and higher up the rope. You all make it over to the first platform. Sinclair, you're a little tired from that, but you're okay. Everyone else, you're perfectly fine. Now, Forgem, you sense they're not further up by a long distance, but they're more to the left. However, the tunnel seems perfectly smooth where you're at.
I think to speak to everybody else, I think they're over there. So I don't know if it's like around a corner or I feel like it's that way.
Can you see if there's any fake walls?
Yeah, I'm gonna check the wall to see if there's anything that's fake about it.
'Cause if they blew one hole, they might have blown a second.
Or
Otherwise,
secret doors.
otherwise we could go through this landing that we found.
Oh, hey, Sinclair, put these on your hands too. It'll help. And I hand him my pair of the Androsphinx sticky gloves.
Yes, those are still relevant. You can honestly use those just to crawl up the walls.
Then I guess I'll pull my pair out of my backpack.
Orifices would probably be in the party loot.
Wow.
If we never sold those.
I don't know if we ever did.
Yeah, we never thought
But
about
you
it.
definitely
so.
looted him. So,
Yes, they did.
so
Pretty
yeah.
much everything was in the bag that wasn't already mentioned to go elsewhere.
All right, so you put on the gloves then. That's 3 sets of gloves.
And Forger can fly.
Yep. Perfect. Well, then the climbing portion of this is done. Forgem, I need you to give me an investigation check with advantage because Stone's cunning.
Oh, sweet. It's not going to really help, but come on, something big. Hey.
14.
14's not bad. You keep flying, padding, and yeah, it all seems solid to you. Side to side, padding the walls. Everything seems more or less fine.
Up, don't know.
Now,
I don't know. Maybe it's up and around a corner.
as you look back at the other 3 who are just like crawling on the walls now.
Yeah.
So, as you keep moving up, further up and up and up the tunnel, I need to look at everybody's passive perception.
There's got to be a cutback or something.
Where he was padding around, could I also make an investigation? Since I'm
you could
physically
do
attached to the wall?
one side of the tunnel, not the other. You could do one or the other.
The direction that he said they were in, the left side.
The left side, yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Give me an investigation then. 21. Padding through as best as you can, you do not discover any hidden walls. And you are very sure of yourself that they are not any of that. You probably have to go further and around somewhere to get to wherever they are.
I asked Forgem, how far in do you think they are?
Does it tell you exact location or does it tell you relative?
That's a good question. Direction.
Yeah, you only have direction. You don't have depth.
Okay. Never mind then.
So, Forgem, you're in the front, right?
Yep.
Okay. You come up to this T intersection that actually it's more of a Y intersection that goes down on the two sides and then down the tunnel that you're flying up.
Right.
You see it has this like large groove around the edge that pushes down this tunnel in your direction, and as you're flying up there, you look up the one side and look up the other, and to the left-hand side, you do see that there's odder obstructions in the walls up this tunnel after it creases for a period of time and then flattens down.
When you say odder obstructions, like there's vines and debris in the tunnel, or
because everything's black and white, it just
Yeah.
looks like there's odd obstructions connected to the walls.
Got it.
Like maybe it's rubble, maybe it's debris, maybe it's
I'm gonna-
holes.
I'm gonna wait until the group catches up and go, look, can you guys tell what that stuff is over there?
Do any of you have bullshit vision?
You know what? Hold on a second.
I have 120 feet of dark vision, and I have blind sight if I need to.
Roll me a perception check, Sinclair.
I could also just cast light and take a look.
No luck on that one, Sinclair. So you throw up globules of light? Doop, doop.
Yeah, close your eyes for a second, and I'm gonna just cantrip light. It's one of the few I have,
All right.
and I'll cast it like in my hand so I can kind of spotlight it, make it into sort of a flashlight look. See if I can determine what those things are.
Roll me a perception check this time, then.
Okay. Good
27.
one.
As the globules go up there, you see that there does look to be a little bit of debris. But actually, roughly about 80 feet ahead of you, there appears to be a crate with a gathering of thicker bits of debris that's only allowing water to trickle through instead of rush through like it's supposed to be doing right now. On the other side, it's moving much more quickly. On this side, it's barely moving at all. And then when you look up that far, you also notice to your right, maybe about 15, 20 feet away from you, there's a nice little glyph on the wall.
Can I read the glyph?
It is a
If he points
magical glyph of spell bullshittery.
Yeah. I go, hold on. Look back. We're still connected through the Raris, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Argon, can you see this? Can you see there's a glyph on this wall right here? I'm going to dispel it. Will that set it off?
Roll me an Arcana check, Argon, if you would like.
You could also look through my eyes to get advantage.
I also know how to cast Glyph of Warding, so
Don't need it.
35. Yeah, that is a glyph of warding, and when he looks at it, Argan, you notice about 5 feet next to it is another glyph of warding, and then there's another one, and then another one.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
Which direction are they in?
They're up the left tunnel, which is the direction that his radar is beaming. There's
So
4 of them in total.
Are they on the other side of that barricade, Fordham?
They're on your
No.
side before it.
They're on our side. The barricade is slowing the water down beyond wherever there's probably some little turnout up in front of us. So I'm sort of suspecting that dispelling all these glyphs might potentially blow us up, or
I have glyph of warding. I can't. From what I've read through it, dispelling it does not set it off.
right.
Dispelling
believe.
a glyph of warding does not set it off. That is correct.
Right.
However, you know the exact mechanics of the spell. You both have it.
Right.
And with your Arcana check, you can know exactly how it works. So if you have any questions about how it works, feel free to ask.
You could always temporarily make them inert,
Don't call
And we
them
can get-
that.
and we can go past them and not burn as many spell slots.
Just the most powerful one I have.
Well, that's the thing. Is it going to be more beneficial to burn one spell versus a bunch, or do I?
So
Is there
I can
like an alcove that it turns off somewhere up ahead past these glyphs?
None that you can see yet?
Not
Because
visible.
I have
yet.
120 vision.
Yes, none that you can see. And
I
you
can-
can only see 100 feet before the crate itself.
I can get us past it, but they will all go off. So we will lose any element of surprise.
Dang.
I can get 3 of us past, but I don't know if there's any more beyond these 4.
How?
I burned the 2 slots that I have. Dimension door.
Dimension door forces you to go, so you would have to dimension yourself back, which would be your second slot.
Oh, that's true.
You can't send others, you can only send yourself with another.
Yeah. So I can get 2 of us over there without triggering them. Cost efficient wise, I think the high level spell might be more beneficial here than losing the element of surprise. Because what happens when we get to the crate and there's like 10 more before we get to them?
But I'm mostly just gonna haul ass past them all and just set them all off, including all the way up to the crate.
I don't want all that water coming down on us because I'm pretty sure when all those runes go, that water comes too.
So I could also. Well,
Um,
that's only me. Never mind. That
So
was...
I think the walls will be safe. Joey, I need to ask for a spell interaction.
Sure. You would be invulnerable.
Anything, and it's also anything in the area of it is invulnerable as well, which means it probably. My question is, will they still damage the wall if I run within 5 feet of all of them?
Immobile, faintly shimmering barrier.
Oh, it's immobile. Never mind.
Right.
I forgot it's immobile.
Yeah, it's
I
not
was
the other
thinking-
one where the ball where they can push you. It's
Right.
It's not magic.
Oh, I do have that too. I could do the ball. I forgot about the ball. I was thinking of.
And the ball would have to be pushed up the tunnel by somebody willing to go up the tunnel where the explosion would hit them.
Do we still have to climb from here on out, or can we walk?
You have to climb unless you get past that grate, and then there's a platform.
Which means we're not going to have any ability to climb, because if I use that big spell, no magic items are going to work either, which means the gloves won't work, Forgeham's boots won't work.
The gloves aren't magical.
Oh, are they?
They're
The
just
gloves
made
for
out of the...
climbing will work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the gloves are just made of the fur of a sphinx that
Okay.
allows you to stick to it.
Yeah. So the gloves for climbing will work. but
Innate versus magical.
Yep.
All right. If you want to do the magic ball, I'll hamster my way up through there if you want.
Just fly yourself up there as a hamster?
Well, not as a hamster, like, you know, the ball's around me and I'm going and plodding my way through all the, but like you said, it sets off all the runes. I could also do something to get myself around it, but that doesn't really help. I wish we knew.
Do either of you have a way to summon a small creature?
No.
That can climb.
Well, technically,
Could you send Otis
would
to
be
the box?
stored away, because Otis didn't die. I just put him away the last time I cast him, which means I can't drag him back out again.
Could you put him on top of that box? Get us a aerial view of the area around there?
Oh, I was just gonna have him set up all the glyphs.
Well, he'll die on the first one.
I would rather him be on the box, take a look around, see if there's any
But
more.
He's not going to be able to get past those glyphs. I'm willing to guarantee you.
Right.
Can't you just pop him into existence up there on the box? How far does he have? Can he be?
So the box is 100 feet away, right?
I think it only pops out within 10.
You can pop
30.
Otis out within 30 feet, and that's 100 feet away. So you could pop him. The closest one is 5. Or the closest one is 15, and then that would be 20, 25, 30. So he would be at the edge of the last one.
Yeah, so he would probably set that one off.
And depending on what type it is, it might set off the other ones too.
Possible.
So I have a way that I could merge into the stone and travel through the stone. But it'll take me a little bit.
But that only gets you past it.
But that only gets me passage.
Do you have? Trying to think. Is there any other teleportation magics? Because I can't put a spell into your globule.
No.
I would get eyes on the other side. If that helped you
determine. Well, not just that, but it could help us determine the next course of action. Because if you get up there and you see there's more, then we're going to have to figure that out. So I think you going into the stone and making your way up there might be the quickest way.
Okay.
Unless you want me to teleport me and Argon up there.
No, I don't think you should do that blind. I think you should let me get a look first, and then at least while our connection's still good, you can sort of see what I see.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast Meld into Stone and just go whoop into the wall.
All right.
and then make my way through the stone if it's up past where I know,
So,
past the runes, and I hopefully have to go, 10 feet over this way, around this way.
so you meld into the stone in order to move up as far as you possibly can. Give me a survival check. Since you can't really pop your head out of the stone to see where the glyphs are, because that would be within 10 feet of them.
Right. I feel like this one little spot, this first 30 feet, is going to be, or whatever you got there. 10,
Well, it's
20.
guesstimating how far you travel because you're moving through stone,
Yeah.
and all you
Yeah.
see is stone.
It's not the first time. I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Survival. Let's make sure
survival.
you can gauge it properly.
Oh, maybe not.
I'm going to burn Ruka.
That only works for you. That is for you.
Oh.
Yeah. She gave an inspiration. That's yours. That's who it's meant for. Well then.
Nice. Sorry, I can't see you, so I can't chronal shift it.
Yeah. Do you have to see the person, or do you have to
Yeah.
be aware of them? Okay.
I have to be able to
Would-
see him. It says
Would
it.
his stone cutting help him at all?
No, stone cunning is discerning types of stone. It's not knowing how to navigate stone.
Well, no, like how thick the stone is, so he could gauge how far he's physically gone through it.
That's a
I know it's a
little
stretch.
bit of a
It's an
stretch.
ability that dwarves have. I just
Yeah,
figured
it-
maybe.
Stone's cunning is meant to be knowledge,
It's
not.
all right. I could
Yeah.
very well poke my head into the wrong side. Like there could be another pipe the other way. I had to go 10 or 15 feet,
So,
just into stone. I could be all kinds of places.
you go far enough along until you see a pipe that passes by, and you remember where the first pipe was going to be. So you think, yeah, you should be like. It seems a little early, but you should be like 80 feet up by now. Pop on out, and you are right next to the fourth. And we come back next session with all four of them exploding at the exact same time.
Oh god.
But
I was gonna
that's
say-
going to be fun.
Wasn't
See
me.
you next session, everybody. Thank you.